To discuss recovery efforts and more, let's turn to Tomasso Della Longa from the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies. Mr. Della Longa, great having you. Thank you very much for joining us. What's the situation right now?
Yeah, first of all, thanks, Diego, for having me today. The situation, I would say, is still catastrophic. It's very complicated because we are talking about a powerful earthquake that has hit a place where an area of the country that hosts millions of people, infrastructure collapse. We're talking about roads that are not anymore there, bridges that are not anymore there, issues, main issues to electricity and communication. So basically, at the moment, together with, of course, the Myanmar Red Cross colleagues, we are working around the clock to support the search and rescue operation because the window will close soon. But we know that now we have priorities like housing and water sanitation that will be very important in the next coming hours.
I see, Tomasso. What I want to try to understand is which kind of aid beyond what you just said is needed now in the few hours that have run between the events and us speaking.
Well, of course, I mean, there are several different priorities. I would say that health is very important. Hospitals are overwhelmed. So, of course, we are talking about medicines and medical equipments. The water sanitation part is very important. We don't have to forget the area hit by the earthquake was just almost recovering from the flooding and the cyclone of last year. And then in that area is like the dry zone of Myanmar. It's already like 43 degrees of temperature, so heat waves are already coming. So it's very important to support the population on that. And the monsoon season is around the corner. So I would say the housing and in general shelter, it's really critical because, of course, after this run to save lives under the rubbles, we really need to make sure to keep safe the people that are alive.
And Tomasso, the country has many isolated areas that have been affected. What do you expect for those areas?
Well, of course, you know, the beauty, I would say, the added value of the Red Cross and Crescent network is that our staff and volunteers are part of their communities. So on the downside, they're affecting themselves. But on the good side, they know how to react and respond immediately. And it's exactly what has happened right after the first and the second earthquake. Now, of course, there will be a huge need of support to arrive even to the most hard-to-reach areas. And then this will be really a marathon. It's not at all a sprint. Myanmar and the community hit by the earthquake will need the international solidarity, not only in the weeks to come, but in the months and most probably years to come.
I see this, and what I'd like to better understand is how will the aid evolve? What kind of aid is needed after this immediate response?
You know, this is a very good question. Thank you, Diego. The real point is that assessments are still going on. And as I told you at the beginning, with all the infrastructure issues, including communication, maybe there are places where we still need to understand the needs and the scale of devastation. So I think that we'll have a clearer picture in the next coming hours, and then it will be of utmost importance to have all the humanitarian sector working together in a coordinated way and making sure to avoid the duplication and make sure to deploy as much as possible aid to the areas affected.
And do you see any specific differences between this disaster and others elsewhere?
No, you know, the reality, I mean, it's not really a difference, but then what is really shocking here is that there are two earthquakes, a couple of minutes of distance, really powerful, that are really already hitting a very vulnerable part of the country. You know, I'm Italian. I'm coming from a country that is really prone to disaster like earthquakes. And we know by experience that when these kind of powerful earthquakes are hitting, no country, no system is really ready to react to such a large scale of devastation. Then, of course, if this is happening in a situation where communities are already vulnerable and level of suffering, different level of suffering already there, of course, this is a perfect recipe for a humanitarian storm.
Tomasso Della Longa, thank you very much. Great having you.